Hey guys, Helosis here. One of my viewers asked me to create a short little guide on Windwalker, so that's what we're going to be doing here. I want to emphasize that this is not comprehensive whatsoever. There's a whole lot of small little intricacies that even I have not yet mastered yet about Windwalker, and for that I would recommend going to this website called walkingthewind.com. It's where I've been reading up on all my stuff and learning what all I can do to optimize my DPS. And it's got some basic information as well as theory crafting and in-depth guides on how to use specific things in your Windwalker toolkit. So I would highly recommend it. It's really helped me out a lot. That being said, I'm going to try to focus on just typical talents, combat, rotation, opener, maybe little tips and tricks here and there, but it's not going to be super in-depth and super complicated. This is going to be a relatively simple guide, so hopefully it can help you guys maybe up your DPS just a little bit. It won't be anything massive, I don't think, unless you're playing extremely wrong. Anyways, uh, let's get started off with talents here. This is the setup that I run basically all the time. That being said, there is some leeway in these talents. For example, in AoE situations, you can take Chi Burst instead of Chi Wave. Um, I haven't personally used it. That's mostly because Chi Wave I like to use as kind of like a hit combo support. So, like in situations where I'm low on energy and low on chi, and I want to, I don't know, there's a bunch of ads up and I want to spin and crane kick or something. I'll Tiger Palm, Chi Wave, Tiger Palm. That'll leave me at 4 chi, and then I can spin and crane kick, Tiger Palm again, spin and crane kick, and that'll give you just a little extra damage as opposed to separating your Tiger Palms with blackout kicks because you'll have more chi to use on spinning crane kick or fist of fury or whatever. So that's why I use Chi Wave most of the time. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. Energizing Elixir compared to Power Strikes, don't use Ascension. Ascension is just bad. Power Strikes is okay. It doesn't have as much chi per minute as Energizing Elixir, and it doesn't have the opener burst power that Energizing Elixir has, or the AoE burst. Uh, it's really just there if you want less to manage, and Energizing Elixir can be kind of tough, especially on single target fights where you're decently fine on your chi expenditure, and but it's really powerful for the opener, as I'll show you in the standard opener a little later. But Energizing Elixir also has the benefit of AoB burst between your Fist of Fury and Spinning Crane Kick again. You can completely energy and chi deplete yourself, tagging mobs with your Mark of the Crane and spinning, and then just refill that right away and go back to spinning. And it's really a good amount of damage, and that's part of the reason that I keep using it. As far as this row, really you want to stick with hit combo. I used Rushing Jade Wind a lot while leveling just because it's easy, it's efficient, it makes picking stuff up and rounding them up a lot easier. But hit combo is your most damage in all situations, no matter what. There's no contest. As for your 100 row, this is where it really gets fun. Whirling Dragon Punch is the simpler talent. Don't use Chi Orbit. Chi Orbit's bad. Whirling Dragon Punch versus Serenity is what you're looking at, and Serenity is the top damage. However, it is very, very difficult to pull off in comparison to Whirling Dragon Punch. If you're not going to use Serenity correctly, and you don't know how, you don't know when, you don't know why, then just use Whirling Dragon Punch. I personally use Whirling Dragon Punch right now because I have not fully familiarized myself with Serenity. But there is a two really in-depth guides, I think, maybe only one, guide on Serenity on Walking the Wind, which is part of the reason that I recommend it. But really, I want to emphasize that do not choose Serenity unless you know what you are doing. Otherwise, it is a DPS loss. Whirling Dragon Punch will be better for you. And it's not like Serenity is a massive increase over Whirling Dragon Punch when played correctly. It's only a small increase. So if you're not going to play it right, just stick with Whirling Dragon Punch. It's easy. You just press it after Fist of Fury, pretty much. So go with that and you'll do just fine. I parsed in 96 percentile with Whirling Dragon Punch, so you can definitely do it. That being said, let's go into what we mainly want to look for in our rotation. Our biggest priority is keeping our Fists of Fury on cooldown. And you may be asking why that is when Strike the Windlord hits harder. Basically what it comes down to is because Fist of Fury has a shorter cooldown, it is more detrimental to delay it for a similar amount of time as Whirling Dragon Punch. So since Fist of Fury is only 20 seconds, Strike the Windlord is 40 seconds, delaying either of those by 2 seconds is 10% for your Fist of Fury, but only 5% for Strike the Windlord, which is why Fist of Fury is your most important ability to keep on cooldown over Strike the Windlord. But those are your number 1 and 2. So keep your Fist of Fury off cooldown, or on cooldown. Keep your Strike the Windlord on cooldown. Then Whirling Dragon Punch. Obviously, you need to Rising Sun Kick to be able to use your Whirling Dragon Punch, because your Fist of Fury should be on cooldown anyways. So make sure, you'll have to do it anyways, but Whirling Dragon Punch is technically third priority, even though you need to Rising Sun Kick first. After that, you're mostly just looking at keeping your mastery / hit combo stacks up through Rising Sun Kick, Tiger Palm, Chi Wave, Blackout Kick, whatever. It's all about keeping your mastery going and your hit combo stacks maxed. So you want to be weaving in, stockpile your Chi for your Rising Sun Kicks, Fist of Furies, and Strike the Windlords. You should have enough Chi to use them as soon as they come off cooldown, which shouldn't be a problem really. Blackout Kick is only there as a filler. You want to use it to keep your mastery up, you want to use it to stop your Chi from capping, and that's about it. With low haste, not using Serenity, and not having the legendary that decreases the Chi cost of Fist of Fury, you really only have about 3 Blackout Kicks per minute is what I've heard. So it's really not all that much. But that being said, let's go into just a random rotation on this dummy bag here. So I'm just going to Tiger Palm, Chi Wave, Fist of Fury because I want to get off that cooldown first. And then I need more Chi for Strike the Windlord and Rising Sun Kick to Whirling Dragon Punch. And now I'm at this situation where I have nothing up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Tiger Palm, Blackout Kick for keeping my stuff up, keep Tiger Palming, generating Chi, Rising Sun Kick's back, I can use that. Now I have 3 Chi waiting for Fist of Fury, waiting for that to come off cooldown. We'll use that now. Rising Sun Kick's close, so we'll use that, our Chi on that. Whirling Dragon Punch here because it's back. Keep our Chi up high, Chi Wave in between right here. Rising Sun Kick again, etc. And you just keep performing this rotation where you keep your important abilities on cooldown by already having the Chi to spend them as they are ready to be used and keeping your hit combo up. So as you can see, I'm really not using all that many Blackout Kicks. I'm holding my Chi for when I can use it on my big abilities. And that's the core of the rotation right there. Now, going into your opener, it depends on multiple factors. First factor is whether you're using Whirling Dragon Punch or Serenity. I'm just going to go over my opener. All the openers are detailed on Walking the Wind website, so if you're using a different talent setup, look over there. They'll tell you what to do. But it's dependent on your 45 talent and your 100 talent. So I will be showing you the Energizing Elixirs Whirling Dragon Punch opener. It's a lot of buttons to press in a short amount of time, so if you mess it up, don't worry. It's happened to me before. You'll get it. Sometimes, on my Heroic Ursock video, you can see I messed it up. My Touch of Death didn't go off or something. But anyways, what you want to do is 2 seconds before the pull, you're going to press your pre-pot and you're going to Chi Wave. Then on pull, you're going to Flying Serpent kick in, land in there, Tiger Palm, Touch of Death, Storm Earth and Fire and your on-use trinket if you have it, Rising Sun Kick, Energizing Elixir, Fists of Fury. Now you get a little break from your fingers. Strike of the Windlord, Tiger Palm, and normally you wouldn't have Rising Sun Kick there, you would just Dragon Punch. The reason mine looked weird was because I went slowly for you guys to try to explain it out. With low amounts of haste, I've noticed that your Whirling Dragon Punch doesn't fit into your Touch of Death window, particularly in situations like when you don't have hero on the pole, or something like that. So in those situations, I skip the Tiger Palm after Strike the Windlord and just go into Whirling Dragon Punch so I can fit that into my Touch of Death for the bigger Touch of Death. Because, of course, that's this golden trait. You want to maximize that to its fullest potential. So that's your opener in a minute here. I'll do it at full speed for you guys. Besides that, there's really not all that much to tell you. You can use your paralysis and leg sweep smartly in mythic dungeons. That'll help out a lot. As far as your resources that go, you kind of want to try to stockpile all your chi for Storm, Earth, and Fire. That's where you want to fit those extra blackout kicks into. It'll do a small amount more damage if you save them up till then, but it's a lot more important to just use your strong cooldowns right away, and then seeing what chi you have for Storm, Earth, and Fire. During a fight, you're obviously going to have multiple Touch of Deaths and Storm, Earth, and Fires. But since the cooldown is 1:30 for Storm, Earth, and Fire and 2 minutes for Touch of Death, they don't really line up until about 6 minutes. You don't want to delay them to line them up, usually. It depends on the length of the fight, but basically, say you're going to be fighting for 10 minutes, you don't want to delay your second Touch of Death for your Storm, Earth, and Fire to come back off cooldown or whatever. You just want to use it. Unless you know you're not going to get another use out of it, then that's when you can stockpile. But that's complicated stuff that you should read in Walking the Wind. I really can't emphasize that enough. Anyways, my cooldowns are back, so I'll do the opener at full speed now. I'll back up over here so that it's more realistic. So, Chi Wave, Flying Serpent Kick. I messed that up. Chi Wave, Flying Serpent Kick, Tiger Palm, Touch of Death, Storm with the Fire Trinkets, Energizing Elixir, Fist of Fury, Strike the Windlord, Whirling Dragon Punch, and then just continue on with your rotation. Another ability that actually has a lot of intricacy in it is your Spinning Crane Kick, and that's due to Mark of the Crane. Let me see if I can pull up the chart here on the side, but there are breakpoints for how many targets and how many marks you have up to whether or not you should use Spinning Crane Kick over something else. So looking at what you have here, you guys can't see it because I don't have it set up. I didn't need to press that. So your Spinning Crane Kick is basically the important parts are if you have 12 stacks of Spinning Crane or Mark of the Crane, which is highly unlikely unless you have a massive group and you Storm, Earth, and Fire and Tiger Palm and Blackout Kick everything. That really doesn't happen, but if you're at 12 stacks of your Mark of the Crane debuff, then Spinning Crane Kick is better than Fist of Fury, but that really doesn't happen all that often, so you don't have to worry about it. One that you do have to worry about is Spinning Crane Kick versus Rising Sun Kick. Now, Spinning Crane Kick is better than Rising Sun Kick in 3 different situations based on targets and stacks. If there are 3 targets around you, it's better. If there are 2 targets, both with a Mark of the Crane stack around you, it's better. Or if you have 6 stacks of Mark of the Crane, regardless of how many targets there are, but at that point you usually have 6 targets anyways, then spinning crane kick is better. So basically what you're looking for is three enemies or two enemies both with stacks. So if you're fighting just two enemies here, we'll use these two. Instead of using your Rising Sun Kick, you want to tag them both, and if your Fist of Fury, Strike the Windlord, and Whirling Dragon Punch on cooldown, you're going to be using your Chi and Spinning Crane Kick. Now doing that, it is very easy to overspend your Chi. You really, in a dungeon situation, for example, your Fist of Fury is going to come up faster than you expect it to, especially with low haste, which a lot of people have. So you want to make sure that you're not sitting here with no chi and no energy with your Fist of Fury on cooldown, waiting. Oh, now I can Fist of Fury. You really don't want to be overspending your Spinning Crane Kick in those situations, and it's easy to do. I've done it many times. But yeah, that's that. And then Spinning Crane Kick's also better than Blackout Kick and Chi Wave if there are two targets or more. That really doesn't come into play because you're not really weighting your Spinning Crane Kick based on Chi Wave and Blackout Kick. Your Chi Wave and Blackout Kick are primarily used to keep your hit combo up, and those then will just fall in naturally, as you'll come to find out. I think that's pretty much all I have in regards to this quick guide. If you guys have any questions, my battle tag right there, Holosis1645, you can add me as a friend. You can message me on YouTube or however you want to find me. I'm kind of all over the place. I'm on Tribe of the Ascended in Burning Legion US Alliance, if that pertains to you at all. Thanks, guys. See you next time.